All right, welcome back, everybody. We are back here with another Nexus Gaming Series match. This time, we are casting some playoffs for Division D Southeast. Joining me once again is my friend Xrus,
Hello, hello.
and we'll be casting Protectors of Aiur and LTK GoldenEye. I have no idea why it has a dash, but it's fine.
Okay, and they're starting, so we're being taken to Volskaya Foundry as today's map. So, coming spicy. Haven't casted a Volskaya game yet, I think. And Protectors of Aiur are starting with Sumura ban. I suppose this is a bit of a target ban here, since this hero can be a bit cancerous in the right hands. Very, very scary, so they don't want to deal with this.
You know, now that I think about it, I think it's quite fitting that Protectors of Aiur chose the map with the Protector. No, all right.
No. It is fitting. It definitely is. Makes sense. I think they also should play Artanis to complement, the fact that they're from Aiur and the Protoss team. But their enemy Ban Stukov, who is currently OP as hell. He's just incredibly strong. Not even as a support. He's just top echelon of broken heroes at the moment. So nobody wants to deal with that. And Asmodan, a solid ban here. Usual.
It's especially good on maps like this where there are a lot of point control and a point that can last a long time. We're going to see Mei picked up by the LTK team. Solid first pick.
Yeah, pretty good tank. They definitely want to start with the front line there. So, I mean, she's in a solid spot. Provides with some strong CC and strong survivability. Overall, pretty good hero. And there's the Anduin pick. So, two most OP healers already been claimed.
Yep.
Both Anduin and Stukov right now in a very good spot.
Yep, at the same time, I would have opted to not first pick Mei, maybe pick her on a 2-3. She does really struggle with slippery heroes, and Sylvanas is definitely one of those. We're going to see a Vala get picked up, and a Li Ming. Very squishy backline that will get punished by dive that Mei can probably not peel properly.
Indeed, Mei has a very lengthy cooldown on her spells, so once she uses them, well, she's just a chunky girl up front. Not much else to do for her. So, and both Sylvanas and Anduin are really good with dive comps. Sylvanas can dive herself with her E, and of course with her ult. And Anduin is always good compliments to the dive. But they do have a lot of damage on the side of red team for now with Valaming. So potential to blow up before they can even get dived.
And we're going to see a Brightwing ban on the side of the Protectors, which is solid. I'm actually quite surprised the red team didn't just pick her up, since Brightwing is so strong right now. And the other side already has a healer, so they were most definitely looking to do that healer choke.
Yeah, the ban is absolutely unsurprising. The enemy already has a tank, already has a DPS. It's not a map that favorize off lane. So definitely with a healer ban was very easy, especially since they have one. The red team banned Jojo, so they don't want to leave Johanna. I'm not sure it's the super strongest hero. She's just generically decent, but definitely not OP in any means.
Yeah, and we're gonna see a Tychus Muradin pickup. Muradin is definitely kind of a nightmare for Vala, because he just jumps on her and sits on her face and just kind of stays there. And there's not a lot she can do to take him off, so we'll see how they counter that.
Yeah, they still have two picks to potentially deal with Muradin. Muradin suffers from the same problem as he always does. It's easy to lock him down and kill. He does have a lot of tools and is slowly creeping up with the up the ladder of viability. More and more people are picking him up, as I feel like. But still not the top tank. His weakness is, of course, getting CC'd and killed. And they do have CC at the moment. They do have a lot of CC against him. With now Varian and Ana being picked, Varian can absolutely flex into a lot of options. He can go smash to kill someone. He can go taunt to protect his team, which I would love to see taunt Varian here, especially as a triple, very squishy backline.
I'm inclined to agree, especially with... Oh, there's Artanis.
Yes, there's the Zealot.
Especially with an Ana healer, which is definitely a solid healer, but she struggles a little bit with healing somebody up quickly. Later in the game, she does get the triple shot, but in the meantime, Vala and Li Ming are very susceptible to dives, so I would like to see a taunt variant myself and keep that backline alive.
Yeah, and Ana also struggles a lot with keeping herself alive. So the best way to counter Ana is just to shoot her in the face, and there's not a lot she can do about it. Of course, apart from landing the sleep dot. So, and there's potential for swaps. So just to top it up with the Artanis pick. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
an interesting matchup. Which team do you think favors at the moment of the draft? Which draft would you favor? Better put it.
I will wait for it to load. Okay. So in terms of comp and as a whole, I do like the LTK comp a little bit better just because I am more familiar with the, well, not more familiar, but in terms of play, I guess I am.
Mm-hmm.
And they just have so much blow up potential with the potential Calamity, Nano, Li Ming. But the other side, I just don't like them too much. They're not as pretty. Anyways, let's just go ahead and quickly start introducing this team here. We are going to see Sergeant Scoops playing the Enduin. This guy, Honey Bear, playing the Artanis Pants on Tychus, which is funny because he has no shirt. Oz Orion playing Sylvanas. And lastly, Ick was something, Tech, as Murden.
Click tech. Okay,
Ick Tech, thank you. All right, and then on the right side.
On the right side, we have Lil Gold playing Varian, Eric Eldrick playing Ana, Shadowvera playing Mei, Acid Plague playing Vala with the Q build, and Liming or Rhino playing Liming. Playing Reno, I think. And there's already a big swap onto Mei who instantly uses her trade, but it's not enough and she dies. The Tychus with minigun is an absolute tank killer, and even her D didn't manage to save her, so it's very quick first blood going to the side of Protectors of Aiur.
Yep, and we're gonna see the blue side. We have a Dingtanis, and Tyke is with a grenade for potential burst. And the variant did go Lion's Maw, so he is potentially a second tank.
Yeah, I like this Lion's Maw heroes. They have a few heroes easy to hit. You know, they have double frontline and Tychus, who's a medium ranged and can't really stutter step well, so it should be easy to hit them, so you get a lot of stacks. Speaking of Iron, he is getting gagged by Muriel and Tychus, but manages to parry and get safely away, and Liming tries to help him out as well, but nothing really came out of this rotation.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Varian is top lane. Maybe they have a different plan at the moment, but he should definitely be contesting Artanis down bot. Or maybe they're just looking to send the Vala so that he can't stack, potentially.
Well, Varian is getting ganked again. They really don't like him being their top. This time is a 4-man commitment, but it's a very sluggish commitment. So Varian doesn't even take a lot of damage and leaves. And Liming comes in again, and she actually takes a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, both teams manage to grab the turret.
Yep, and this is why you want your 4-man rotating top mid. We're going to see the blue side quickly pick up the support camp. This is the neutral camp, so definitely this is something that you want to contest. Very strong on the objective as well. And by having so many players down bot, it's just not something that you can contest.
It is a smash variant.
It's a smash variant. Is. Okay.
He's gonna yell at them, and hopefully they will die from that yell. At least that's what he's hoping. His team, meanwhile, is grabbing the camp, so is the blue team, so good rotations there. I do want to point out the fact that the middle camp, the support camp, is usually very contested, and it's pretty much like a boss, so you need to actually kill your opponents to get it, and the blue team just casually walks in there and just takes it, and the red team just casually ignores it. So
yes, I already talked about that.
Yes, you did. Just wanted to point out the fact because it was a little bit shocking.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm not sure what their plan is currently by having so many people bot lane. But definitely they should be keeping a closer eye to that support camp. We're gonna see the blue side. They're just gonna prioritize clearing this this camp from the red side so that they can go ahead and push with their own during objective, which is definitely the smart play to do here.
Yes, and it forces the red team to respawn and actually counter clear that, and the blue team rotates to the objective and grabs the point control from the red team. So both of the camps managed to give a bit of clearing for team to get some percentage, but currently red team holds 41%, and they clear the camp and ready to engage.
Which is we're gonna see a quick engage here on the Mei. She's gonna pop her trade, but unfortunately she is going to fall. We're gonna see the Murding fall quite low, but he's gonna be fine. The bigger issue that other than having to rotate top is we keep missing some waves bot lane. The blue side is already almost a full level ahead, and we haven't seen anybody from the red side soak this bot wave in a little bit.
Yeah, they're definitely liking to do group rotations at the moment, which is fine to do in the later stages of the game. Early on, you probably kind of want to spread around, trying to grab a little bit more soak as well, since they are one level behind. Trying to grab a turret here. Hope they will be there on time to contest it, since their blue team is nearing grabbing the protector there.
Well, they are the same level. They both have turrets. Item advantage definitely on the blue side, but they definitely can contest here. Sylvana's just going to turn off that turret, and they're going to kill it immediately. Muradin jumping out, running low. We do see the healing item just get popped here.
Yep, Varian getting in deep, trying to use a smash, but he does go down. So does Mei. Tigers and Sylvanas absolutely shred the red team's front line, and they have to retreat, and the protector goes to the blue side. I do want to point out, actually, that Sylvanas did go for percentage damage at level 1. So that's even more frontline killer, and she has Mercenary Queen, which does empower the turrets, making them deal even more damage, making the point control fights go a lot in favor of the protectors of Aiur here, because
yeah, I suppose having a Tychus with percent all the time wasn't enough. They just wanted more pain.
They really don't like the main variant. I don't know what they've done to them, but it must have been something very terrible.
Yep. The Protector actually got a little bit more value than we're used to. For the most part, we will only see them take a well. With Sylvana's trade value, they get the full wall, and they are almost 10. We're going to see a potential bush gank here. But Anduin stepping off the bush. Very ballsy of him. We're going to see the team rotate mid for potential gank on the Mei, but she's going to slide away.
Yeah, they're trying to... Oh, that was a... I don't think there was an attempt to gank Li Ming there. She just safely blinked past them. They do have the level 10 advantage, and the red team just disengaged trying to get the camp, but the blue team is playing this very defensively here. The red team is not even close to getting the level 10, so I feel like they could have been a little bit more aggressive. Grabbing that fort, for example, especially top, since the next objective is top, grabbing, denying that safe haven for retreat to, but they opted to go for the camp.
They definitely could have, but this, as I said before, the support camp does hold a lot of value for those later fights on the point. So I think that was a fine play, and especially they still have 10. They still can potentially get this top, or at least get some pressure going on it.
Yeah, they're looking at it, and Li Ming is just poking them from the back. The red team is now grabbing level 10 as we speak. Let's see what kind of ults they're gonna go for, and the blue team sees this and disengages, safely not wanting to take any risks.
We're gonna see a Warbringer from Varian, Snowball or Avalanche from Mei.
Avalanche, yes.
Rain of Vengeance from Vala, and the Wave of Force from the Li Ming.
It's pretty standard choices here. I like the Warbringer on Varian because he wants 2 charges of parry against the Tychus, Sylvanas, or Tannis. There's a lot of auto attack damage, so he wants to be able to have more defensive against that. They don't really have that much spell damage to go full protected, so that's a good choice.
Yep, and as expected, we do see the nano boost for the potential blow up with the Nano Ming.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, and both teams are actually doing a great job at grabbing those items. Every time a camp is up, they're rotating, getting those. There's a blue camp pushing top. The blue team's actually committing really hard to top. They really want the top 4 there. The red team looks like they're going to go there to defend. Both teams have turrets at the moment. Protectors do have the healing beacon and Anduin as well.
Yeah, but they do have a Sylvanas that can turn off that fort, but it doesn't look like they're going to full commit to it. Instead, opting to go and grab that 13 and potentially get a gank on this Varian, who was quite deep, and he's going to get stunned, light bombed, swapped, mind control, all of the ults used on this man. So that's also something that's going to be a potential advantage on the red side. They use so many tools to get that Varian kill, but unfortunately they don't have the levels yet.
Yeah, they did get level 13. This is actually a pretty good kill since it gives them a little bit of lead on the point. Not too much since death timers are pretty low and they're just positioning themselves on it. But the ults were used. Mind control should be up pretty soon. A little bit longer for the light bomb, but I like the aggressive commitment there. A little bit overkill, but hey, kill's a kill.
Absolutely. Li Ming still soaking away at 13, and she's starting to rotate up to the team now. Get some flanks, but they still don't have 13. I would like for them to leave somebody to soak and instead poke the rest of the team, but instead they're going to full commit to this engage, potentially. For some reason, the blue side is backing out, though, instead of just accepting this gift from LTK.
Exactly. The GoldenEye is saying, well, we're gonna fight talent advantage then. Oh, but now they are going in. Muradin jumps in with the light bomb, stuns Vala, mind control lands, and before she can even blink, she is dead. Tychus, meanwhile, shredded May. Absolutely there. She's very low, has to pop her trade. There was a big damage going on. The GoldenEye didn't even use their ults there. They didn't even have the chance. They died so quickly. So, yeah, looks like blue team might just be getting the Protector.
Correction, Leming did. Not that it mattered, but she kind of did. And in the mid lane, Varian is kind of wrecking this Artanis with his yelling powers.
Well, Artanis, who's low HP, is still just as scary as full HP Artanis because of his shields. It's very deceptive. I do treat Ming ult as a bit of an extended basic ability rather than an ultimate.
It pretty much is. The cooldown is fairly low, so I do have to agree with you on that. The blue team is not going to commit to that top 40, even though it's mostly down. Instead, they're going to go ahead and rotate all the way to bot lane, get that next well that will help them on the next objective.
Yeah, meanwhile, Vala is shredding them. She went for Q build, so that does a lot of damage, and she gets plenty of stacks on the Protector, since it does count as a heroic target, so easy to stack. It's half HP, but I think they'll be able to get a well down, which is, well, achievement in on itself, but I feel like they probably hope to get more value out of it.
Yep, this is definitely the time for the red side to take a fight. We do see both a couple of ults here used. Just one Rain of Vengeance was used as well, but they definitely should commit to a hard engage before the blue side gets 16.
Yeah, Vala got nano boosted. Tries to land those Qs, and
this is
the blue team just
left. The blue team just left. I mean, they don't have to fight this. They're ahead. They're almost 16. They don't want this fight. So that is 100% the correct call here. Kind of interesting to see a PvE Vala, though, considering that, yes, there's a lot of camps here, but most of the time you will be PvPing on the point.
Yes, indeed. Since back, before the rework, the Q it reduced its mana at least. Now it's just pure Merc damage. So, I don't know. Wonder what's gonna see this happen. Maybe she thought the Protector was the PvE target here. But the blue team does have the 16 level advantage here, and they are looking at the support camp. And yep, they're starting it right now.
Yep, we might want to get the Varian up here and maybe potentially get a 4v5 going, which looks like what he's going to do. They are looking to contest this point. Muradin falling low, he has to step out. But we are going to see all of the members stepping on the point instead of just letting May. And both of the squishes are going to fall, followed by the Varian. They are losing a 4v5, and quite convincingly so. May as well is going to fall, and we're going to see the Ana get swapped. She's going to stop crouching, but she is still going to go down. And that's a full team wipe.
Yep, 5-man team wipe right there. It was looking very grim for the blue team right at the beginning, since the GoldenEye landed a really good stun there, brought them quite low. Vala damage and Ming damage, they pressed all their buttons, but then they just didn't have enough to follow up on that, and the blue team just absolutely turned around and murdered them. They have a lot of DPS. Odin was used. And of course, Silvana's landed mind control, and just they snowballed the whole fight. So it started off very promising, but it was also level 16. It's a 16 talent, which is quite an impactful one down. So no surprises then.
Regardless, they were 4v5. So I think the biggest issue was that we did see the Ming and the Vala. They both stepped on the point instead of just letting their frontliner do it. Taking all that damage. They were the first to die, and that should definitely not be the case for the most part, unless they get picked off, of course.
Yes, Artanis has 169 stacks at this point, so he hurts a lot if he manages to connect with those backliners. And there is a commitment to the top fight, even the objective is starting bot. There's a little bit of an attempt for a swap. Oh, there's a smash onto Artanis right there. Mind control landing on Varian. Light bomb follow-up, stunning him. There's a lot of damage, but he does get healed. There's a May avalanching Artanis and Ando into the back. He does drop the healing beacon, but he's dropped himself. Tychus meanwhile shreds May there. Artanis tries to desperately stay alive in the healing beacon, but he does go down. Looks like red team is popping off. There is the main resets we're waiting for. But unfortunately, Ana does go down, so it looks like 2 for 3 trade, and the Protectors are winning this fight narrowly.
It is Calamity build. I am quite surprised that we keep seeing that nano boost on the Vala. Not saying that she doesn't have that burst potential, but with all the reset potential that Li Ming has, that's typically what we will see. So I'm kind of curious as to what their strategy is with that.
Yeah, as you mentioned, she has a lot of spell damage, but typically Ming is like one of the best nano targets there, especially with Calamity. So I'm would surprise myself with this. But nonetheless, the blue team now has a huge advantage. They just want to fight. They grab both turrets. They are almost level 20, and GoldenEye is still quite far from it, and they're grabbing themselves a nice percentage onto the point. So looking good so far.
Yeah, we're gonna
Also,
see Li Ming double soaking, which is quite interesting. She doesn't have the best wave clear of the team. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we're gonna see a 4-man potentially trying to get the point. We should definitely get Li Ming down here. They're about to
yeah,
have,
she's
well, they
coming.
just hit 20, so this is not ideal anymore. I was about to say that if they could just get in there right before they got 20, it could have been okay.
But the blue team is stepping off for some reason. Oh, no, they're committing. They're fighting. They should. They have level 20. Has some really big upgrades there. There's the swap. Oh, big sleep blinding onto people. Blind onto the entire red team. There are both turrets being used with Merqueen. And Varian actually gets obliterated instantly. Live landing on May, followed up by the mind control, and she drops very quickly. Tychus completes his Master Assassin. Now he's gonna shred them even faster. The red backline just doesn't have enough damage, and they chase Anna down and kill her. That was very ballsy engaging into the level 20, and they unfortunately paid the price.
Yep, Li Ming at least immediately goes back into soaking. I think they should have just given this objective. At this point, this should be a keep, maybe game, depending on how they defend it. But they could have been just fine just giving it and defending as a 5-man.
Absolutely. There was not just the ending yet. The objective on this map is not super strong, and it's just 16 minutes in, so they definitely could have defended. Even maybe, I don't think they could have defended the keep, but they could have definitely defended the core. Right now, the keep is going to be completely free. I don't think Porter is going to take too much damage. I mean, Ming does have the four orbs, so there's going to be a lot of resets for her, but... Oh, there is the swap. She does blink away.
Yep, the very end going to the backline, immediately focusing that Sylvanas, but he's gonna get mind controlled and insta-deleted.
Wow, he just went there alone. There's a two-man stun from the Muradian, and the dropping extremely low there. Protector dealing a lot of damage. Lands his hand onto the Vala, dropping her, and he is now on the core. This is looking very grim for the GoldenEye there. There's another big swap landing in and a big stun from Muradin, but the core is dropping dangerously low. And I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is GG.
Yep, it sure is. Pretty dominance on the side of the protectors of Aiur here.
Indeed, very, very dominant game there. They definitely had the proper comp. They had a frontline killing comp, essentially. The May and the Variant tries to go in. They get mind controlled. They get swapped in. They get stunned by both Light Bomb and Muradin. They just get blown up instantly. That's exactly what they did, and they don't even have to kill the backline. If we look at the number of deaths from the red team, we have 6 deaths on Variant, 6 deaths on May, whereas the range DPS is 2 and 1. So they just didn't even have to kill the backline. Just kill the tanks, and they won the team fight. So well executed, well drafted, I'd say, for Protectors of Fire there.
I will agree, and we see that the Vala does have top DPS, but it's more sustained than anything. Unfortunately, it was just not impactful. Li Ming never really got any calamity value either. Might as well have gone orb and just poked them from afar, and maybe Vala could have gotten a pick, or maybe even the Varian.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if I like the smash the pickles with all the percentage damage. I don't think the taunt would have the additional HP would have saved him, but definitely taunting something like Tychus maybe or Sylvanas. I don't know, but for sure they had a lot more poke on the side of GoldenEye there. Which is reflective of the damage, and they did drop members of the blue team very low quite a few times, but they just were never able to finish those kills.
Manduin always the winning pick. Says chat.
Indeed, the chat is right.
Yeah, Anna did go full grenade build, which is a little bit better when you have more frontline than they did. I think the sleeping build is typically what's meta, if I'm not mistaken.
It definitely was a while ago. I'm not sure what is meta right now for Ana, I have to admit. Oh, and Anduin went for your favorite level 7, Desperate Prayer.
Listen, I hear this talent is meta right now, but it's bad. It's just bad. I hate it.
It's a very big healing, for sure. It just roots you for 2 seconds.
Well, if you can find a safe spot to use it, but in the middle of a team fight, this is pretty much a dead talent. Like, what are you gonna do for? You're just gonna die in 2 seconds if you decide to use it there.
Yeah, exactly. It's you don't need the roots on your team if enemy Anduin picks that. He's just gonna root himself, and it's a 35-second cooldown, so it's pretty low. You can just use it very often. While, especially if you have some skill shots like Li Ming, just wait for Anduin to start praying and just blow him up.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch to the pretty screen. See if we get a map anytime soon.
Oh yeah, I want to see those transitions.
Yeah, take a look. Take a look.
I am looking.
It'll happen any second now.
Any second. Bloody delay.
A whole 30-second delay.
Waiting. I am very happy that they went with Zealot. Protectors of Aiur went with Zealot. Oh my, that is spicy.
Yep, still waiting for
the spicy.
Second map here from the teams.
The AGC level production right there, lads.
Hey. I was already pre-made, but this scene I made myself.
Yeah, this one's good too with all the stars. It's very hot thematic, so for sure I like it.
Looks like for game number 2, we will be going over to Towers of Doom.
Oh, I always love me some Towers of Comeback maps.
I always hate me some Towers of Doom.
I hate it only with Stormly because no one knows how to play it. In an actual with an actual team, I like it when people know what to do on this map.
Verd dies 10 times a game without Desperate Prayer. I mean, yeah, he does.
Well, if you have int in your blood, you don't need Desperate Prayer to die.
Yep, looks like the side of the Protectors of Aiur have opted to go for the map pick here. We're going to see a first pick go to the side of LTK GoldenEye. They don't really care about that prio pick. They just want to play where they're comfortable.
Which is always a good strategy. If you have a map that you practiced and you know you do well, you have a strategy, you have a draft, you've done a lot, you're comfortable with the calls, and you know your team knows what to do, absolutely go for it, especially if you need to win. Always a good choice. Don't experiment in an actual game. Alright, looks like the teams are about to be ready. We should be having a game anytime soon.
We see some intel here from chat saying that Protectors of Aiur have struggled on Towers of Doom this season. Yeah, maybe they have been practicing. We don't know that. Maybe they're the Protectors of Towers of Doom instead.
Maybe actually Towers of Doom is located on Aiur, but it would be super meta right now. I would be protecting it.
Oh man, this transition was actually on point this time. Like the whole loading screen that didn't show. I'm not pro at this, guys. All right, so once again,
timing.
First pick going over to GoldenEye. Let's see what they're gonna prioritize. Towers of Doom, we do like to see a good dual soaker. Things like Malthea, Lyric, Sonya, even the Haka later in the game should be quite high prior. We're going to see another Samuro ban and a Stukov ban.
Yeah, this is a big map, and a map where taking those bell towers is very important. Samuro does have super strong siege damage. He does a lot of DPS, so not surprised if someone on the side of GoldenEye plays him well. They opted to get rid of him. Stukov, as we mentioned, OP as always, and there is a respect ban for Tychus. He definitely made a lot of pain for side of GoldenEye there for sure. Oh wow, TLV.
TLV and a Tychus respect ban.
I have to say that they opted for some very strange heroes to ban, not the most common ones with the Vikings there, but it is a strong Viking map for sure. Not their best, but it's definitely a strong Viking map. And they pick May again. This time no Tychus to kill her, so they come saying, okay, May should be a lot safer right now.
You'd think, but Tychus was not the only reason that May was struggling into that comp. Everything else, honestly, was a problem. The mind control just wrecked her a bunch of times. Just the CC in general. And we're going to see a Johannes and another Sylvanas pickup here.
Yeah, Sylvanas worked really well last game. The mind control landed. Pretty much every mind control landed, so that was really, really good. Some solid damage there. I'm not sure how Merc Queen interacts with the pumpkins. I don't think it actually increases the damage they deal to structures with their charge, but it probably increases the damage that their bombs do. But still, Sylvanas is a solid choice. And on the map that you need to control and take enemy structures, definitely having this trade helps a lot.
Yep, this side we're gonna see the team of GoldenEye steal that Anduin pick from the protectors of Aiur, and we're gonna see an Arel pickup, which is not something you see very common. And when you do see an Arel, it's usually a God Arel. So we'll see how this guy plays.
Yeah, Irel is mostly played by Smurfs. I still think she's one of the hardest heroes to play in the game, and there are very few people, even none, who actually play Irel at high level. So I am very curious to see how good Reno is gonna be on Irel there. Oh, that's a missed ban.
Yep, the protectors of Aiur don't need anything else. They banned the Samuro, they banned the Vikings. Nothing else can threaten us.
They're still murky, missing. I'm not sure if they're going to be remaking the lobby there with the missed ban or what. We'll see. We'll see in a second.
Typically, what we see is they just type it in chat, but we don't have access to chat, so we don't know that they instead is like, hey, sorry, I missed this. We're actually banning this.
Yeah,
but they don't remake. They don't remake lobby for this typically.
Yeah, usually you end up the draft and then either remake or just go along with it, depending on how teams agree to it. But yeah, GoldenEye banned bribing again, bribing ban. So again, healer choke coming from GoldenEye now. It was happening for protectors last game. Let's see which healers they opt for. Oh, and there's the Malfurion.
Yep, we're gonna see a Malfurion Sul pickup. Sul has fallen quite down in the meta, but definitely on this map, he is quite unmatched by most heroes at double soaking. Irel is most likely not going to be able to keep up with Sul. Instead, they're going to need some help from his 4-man to help. And we're going to see a Kazi and a Zebo. Interesting choices.
Yeah. Very few heroes can keep up with Zul double soaking. I love the hero, and especially on this map where you can just, the 4-man runs it down bot and you just double soak the entire game. And Zul is absolutely perfect trade. So we're gonna see. I'm waiting to see the last pick, but yeah, I like Zul. He's not very good for team fights, unfortunately, unless the enemy completely ignores him and stacks nicely, so we can get a lot of value, which I doubt is gonna happen. And there's a Junkrat, again, one of the most broken heroes at the moment. Very, very strong in the meta currently.
Yeah, it's just obnoxious as hell.
Indeed. And a lot of poke, of course, which you kind of need poke on this map. If enemies trying to grab that objective, you can just poke them with your grenades and deny that for a long time. So, good call.
Yep,
I wonder what the ban was supposed to be.
A quick screen cap before I can't read the names because they're moving around. Well, while we wait here, who do you think is more likely to win based on their comp?
Based on their comp, huh? I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Zul usually, and he definitely can bring a lot of power to his team. And I kind of like the format that they have with strong front line and then double solid DPS. I'm gonna go with 2 protectors. I guess it will all depend on how powerful Rel is, but in this case, she's gonna be behind trying to soak with Zul. So yeah, I'd say the blue team based on the draft is my vote.
I'm inclined to agree, but quickly, I do want to go ahead and introduce these teams. On the side of protectors of Aiur, we're going to see Ikplitek, that was better, playing Johanna, Orion playing Sylvanas, Sergeant Scoops playing Malfurion, Honeybear on Soul, and Pants on Junkrat.
Yes, and their enemies, GoldenEye, trying to do a reverse sweep there, with Lil God playing Spiders Nazebo, Eric Elric playing Anduin, Shadowvera playing Mei, Reno playing Irel, and Acid Plague playing Cassia.
Yep, and we're going to see the Soul go straight top, and the rest of the team is going to bot lane to go start cheesing with Sylph trait.
Very good, very nice call. Bot is the most important lane after all, and the red team is trying there to rotate, but Johanna is actually slowing them on rotation. I really like this play from Protectors there, trying to do as much damage as Sylvanas straight early on, and Johanna being there safely slowing them. They don't have enough damage to kill her at this point, so well played by now, well played.
Yep.
I'm quite impressed.
And if you thought that Irel was going to be double soaking, you were mistaken. We do see Nazebo making these rotations.
Okay. He does need to stack his spiders. Might be a little bit harder on Zol, especially if he just completely avoids him, which is 100% doable with this. And Irel is now in the foreman. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely a strange choice. We're gonna see the Johanna get locked down and killed. That's not something you see very often. Johanna does not simply die.
Yeah, I was expecting them to not have enough damage, especially with just Cassia solo DPS there, but that was a good Blizzard from Mei. I'm doing follow-up there, and just eventually she died, so that was pretty good. And both teams immediately rotated to the camps. I really like how both teams are prioritizing camps there. Every time camp is up, they just go for it and grab it. So the blue team got them a little bit faster, but I don't think they're going to be invading it at this point.
Well, I'm inclined to agree. I would have liked to see the red side immediately rotate to that camp once that got that Johanna pickup. That was pretty much a free camp for the most part. Just keep Nazebo nearby, just in case they need the help. But they opted to go for their own instead. The Mei stepping up just to have her team clear these pumpkins and potentially push in their own.
Yep, both teams grabbing the level 4 just now. Irel going there aggressively trying to zone him out, but there is the Merc Queen. Oh, look at these big pumpkins there. Irel jumping in, trying to do some damage, but is dropping a bit low. Pushes Sylvanas right into the Blizzard, but she manages to get out there. Johanna using her Unstoppable to cleanse the Anduin Root. There is a bit of a Junkrat boop onto Irel, and there's Cassia damage. Both teams are brawling heavily right now, but dropping a bit low on mana and low on health, but nobody is even close to dying at this point.
Yeah, we are going to see the just to have a quick look here. I'm looking at the talent, the experience panel. Currently the Soul is about 1000 XP ahead from the Nazebo, just a fun fact.
Yeah, absolutely no surprising. Nazebo does not have the best wave clear possible. Zul went for the W at level 4, so it's gonna give him massive cooldown reduction. And he's right now clearing the lane, not grabbing the tower. I wonder if Nazebo is gonna be cheeky and try to contest that. Looks like he is going to be there, and Azul is waiting for him in the bush. But there is some brawl going on in the bottom, of course, the most important part. Root landing on Mei, putting her to sleep. She's dropping extremely low, has to dash away, but Johanna is also a bit low there. So both front lines dropping their health and trying to reset their health with the fountain.
Yeah, this poor Cassia is not going to be able to walk away. There's a root blocking her path. In the meantime, Irel dropping quite low, but she's just going to boop everybody away and walk to safety. And the top side, we did see the typical trade from the offlaners. Looks like Nazebo has somewhat picked up his pace now.
Yeah, Nazebo decided not to interrupt Zul any longer. He did it for a little bit, but then opted to double soak again and try to get his stacks for his passive, while Protectors managed to get the kill on Cassia and grab the bottom shrine as well.
Yep. The blue side camp has a spawn, and we see the immediate rotation. Same we see for the red side. They are all moving over to their side and get their respective camps. We're not going to see any cheeky invades just yet. Johanna potentially looking at the red side. Is she going to get there in time? It looks like she might. We do have a Soul pretty close by in the mid lane, and he's going to rotate in. The Mei getting booped into the back line, just disrupting the team. They might need to step out since the Nazebo is so far away.
Yeah, Cassia was dropping really low. Ando and had to use his leap to get him out. And blue team grabs that camp right there, doing a lot of damage. There's not a lot of kills this game, but there's enough pressure onto the members of the opposing teams to actually create something happen. They dropped Mei very low, they dropped Urel very low, booped them out, or slapped them, rooted them, and they just simply had to disengage in fear of dying. So they grabbed the camp. The camp was actually cleared pretty nicely. So.
Yep, they still lost the rest of their wall, but not a huge deal. They're at least their fort is still standing. The team looks like the Aurel is trying to commit to an engage here, but not a lot is happening. Cassia fending in. Not a lot of nobody's gonna take a lot of damage here. Everybody's blinded. Cassia's getting CC'd. She might go down. She's dropping quite low, but she is gonna be walking out just fine.
Yeah, desperate prayer value right there, keeping her alive, but Anduin is dropping very low on mana. He did tap, but again, Urel is taking some damage. And Sylvanas' DPS is just really no joke there, doing a lot of damage. But Zul, in the meantime, just decided, well, while you guys are brawling, I'm gonna take the objective. And he just did.
The Nazeebo has just been a little behind on rotations. That entire time he was top lane, he just rotated to mid lane. So if he had been closer, he might have been able to contest here. We're going to see a lot of damage onto that Cassia, but she gets booped into safety.
I'm really surprised that we've been seeing them fighting bot pretty much for the last 6 minutes, and there's just 2 kills in the entire game. This kind of shows how brawly this is, but no, not a lot of deaths, not a lot of kills there. Oh, Blessed Shield narrowly misses their Urel, but both teams are engaging big Twilight Dream. They're silencing with follow-up of Mind Control, and Anduin, being Anduin, just presses D and saves them. But there's Urel. She actually had to use her ult very early there, trying to do some in the backline, but there's Zul rotation, dropping mages in the backline of GoldenEye, and everyone is just taking a lot of damage, but again, nobody is dying. There's the Valkyrie whooping Junkrat in, root follow-up onto them, but still no deaths. Oh, spoke too soon. Urel just died to the Riptire and Sylvanas damage.
Yep, I do want to say you notice how that's going to be a pickup on the Cassia. She gets condemned and rooted into plays and followed by a Mei pickup right after.
Yeah, GoldenEye went there, took a little bit there deep, trying to re-engage, and the damage was just a bit too much, and it dropped 2 heroes down, so...
Yep, immediately we're going to see a rotation over to the GoldenEye's siege camp. I just wanted to mention that we have seen the Soul just make some timely rotations to get an advantage at 4v5 on his team. But the Nazeebo just is not doing the same.
Yeah, he's really stuck behind there, but the Zul is not responding to him, so he's taking a lot of damage there top. But Zul overextended their mid, and now he's being guided with 3 people. I highly doubt he's gonna survive. He does not. His team tried to rotate, helping him out, but Zul goes down. Try to get a value mid. Unfortunately, Zul's siege damage is really low, so he can clear the minion wave instantly, but he can't retake the fort down. And the top actually took significant amount of damage from the Nazeebo. Oh, there is a Blessed Shield there on Urel. A lot of damage happening, and Anduin saving her life in the last second there. But with Zul dead, the blue team is falling behind on Soak, both top and mid, unfortunately, where the foreman has to stay and defend bot. Nazeebo is getting a lot of value in both lanes.
Yeah, I don't think we will see the side of GoldenEye take this back any moment. We're gonna see the Mei get rooted and slept, falling very low, but popping her trait for survival. In the meantime, Urel is taking the tank spot and just keeping everybody at bay. And Nazeebo got killed somewhere up there.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Zul running him down there a little bit. Landing that root and killing him. So there's a bit of revenge for all the value that he got. But Nazeebo got the top tower.
You mean landing that the insane skill shot root? I just think it's funny that you said that he landed it as if it was really a choice outside of a cleanse.
True.
At this point, we're gonna see the blue side start retreating, which I would not say I agree with. Yes, there is an objective coming in a couple seconds, but ideally you want to defend this and get potentially your offlaner to cap. But instead they're going to give the structure, and Nazeebo, he is close this time, so he can potentially come with his team and contest this objective.
Yeah, him dying for grabbing the top was really valuable. Zul just tried to push the top a little bit, but again, he has very low siege damage. And red team now controls more bell towers. and Cassia is just grabbing the bot for free while there is a fight going on the mid. Sylvanas is dropping quite low from that Irel and Nazebo damage, who still does not attack his spiders. Irel going in with the backline, big Twilight Dream silencing them, but Irel had the ult and Cassia drops the Sylvanas down there. There's a big root and sleep lining on May, but the blue team has to disengage. Ooh, clutch Valkyrie dodge by Johanna. There would have been more kills, and the red team looks like they are ahead right now.
Yep, I would. Once again, I would like to see them go ahead and invade once this is done. I definitely would like to see them go ahead and go into the blue side's siege camp. We still have a 10-second timer on that Sylvana, so she would definitely be like, "What are you doing, Johanna? You leave him alone. You don't have team."
Yeah, especially that Zul is top trying to protect those structures, and the red team, indeed, as you mentioned, as if they had you, they are rotating to invade. It was a bit of a late rotation, but there they are.
A rotation nonetheless.
A rotation nonetheless.
This is a 4v5.
5-man commitment. The blue team does not engage. They're just poking a little bit of Junkrat. Oh, but Sylvana's trade completely disabled these pumpkins, and this camp got 0 value. Yeah, one pumpkin
went in. That's 30%, 33% value. All right, so we're gonna see the red team finally start pushing out onto the blue side. Irel is gonna get mind control, but she is going to be saved once again by the leap of faith. We have Cassia living on their backline, but she's not gonna. Oh, we're gonna see a blessed shield onto the Irel. I forgot the hero names at the moment. May becoming rooted, and she's gonna get blown up literally.
Wow, that was Lightbomb trying to save her, but right before it exploded, there was a rip tire to her face, and she died. So that was a big engagement there. But blue team had a 16 level advantage, so that was pretty big. There is Sylvana's trade trying to grab that bottom, but Irel going aggressively again, trying to do a little bit of damage. Cassia leaping in, trying to fend for the DPS, but she's taking some damage to back. She has tap, so they're both building aggressively. Both Cassia and Irel very aggressively playing, very aggressively positioning the blue team now disengage. And the Zul, meantime, managed to grab mid.
I'm actually quite surprised how aggressive the red team is being, considering they don't have 2 players right now. This is, I would say, what I would call quite unnecessary, but we're going to see the Nazebo rotate to take that top right altar. Instead of, I probably would have gone to the left side, considering they had all their players on the mid shrine. But instead, we're gonna see everybody start rotating, and this seems like the time to throw the game if you guys continue.
There's been a lot of happening at Nazebo grabbing the top tower. Taking it, meanwhile Zul took mid, so there's been a little bit of a trade there going on, and of course there was a pretty big mind control there, killing the Cassia in the middle, which allowed protectors to grab the middle objective, but the red team retook their mid tower now, and Zul is trying to retake top. There's really a lot of going on.
Yep, the blue side is definitely keeping a good eye on these timers. As soon as it hit 1, they were already moving forward to take it. I did want to mention as well that not really a trade on those bell towers, considering the mid one is just take itself. If you leave it uncontested, the wave eventually will just push and take it, whereas the top one does need to be contested, and there's also a camp that can be walked in, albeit not as easy as the bot one.
Yeah, Nazebo is using Garrett or Gargantuan. I was getting a little bit confused. Gary the Gargantuan trying to grab that mid, but he is gonna get mind controlled and killed and wounded. Of course, there's a big rotation. He did do a lot of damage to it, but he did not take it just yet. But he's using his little part. But there is a blessed shield there onto the main Cassia, and doing this, saving the Cassia there. May is dropping extremely low, uses her D, but does go down. And the red team now has 2 members down, and the blue team is pushing in hard. Or at least I hope.
Yeah, instead of finishing that bottom tower, they're going to go ahead and move over for the siege camp. After they finish this siege camp, I would like to see them push out this bottom tower so that we can leave these pumpkins run in while the next altar faces up, and it looks like that's exactly what they're looking to do.
Yeah, there was a bit of a split there. 2 people going to grab the camp, or 2 people pushing the lane and getting that bottom tower. Meanwhile, Zul generously donated the top camp to Irel, so very nice of him. To even the odds there, but the blue team has a level advantage, and looks like they're going to be grabbing their altar very soon as they're all rotating there.
Yep, we're going to see the rotation from the rest of the enemy blue team. Meanwhile, we only have three red heroes on the top, with Nazeebo taking back the bottom bell tower, and Irel, she's just pushing top.
Yeah, that Cassia was there getting really low, caught out of position by the Blessed Shield, but she was saved by Anduin yet again from the mind control, and she lives. So Nazeebo is using his push power, along with most likely Gary is going to be used to retake that bottom.
Yeah, we're gonna see the red team push down here and claim that bell tower back. The red side does have 20, so they have every right to defend this and maybe kill them there. But it doesn't look like they're looking to go there. Rail's living on the middle of the enemy team. She's gonna jump out.
She was delaying the rotation there quite well, and the blue team just didn't ignore her, tried to kill her. She was living there, pooping them away, stunning them in the meantime. Nazeebo and Gary, or should I say Gary and Nazeebo, retook that bottom there. But there is a big fight over the camp. There is a Twilight Dream landing on two people. Oh, very narrowly. Make grabbing that got mind control, but there was a Junkrat actually booked them away, and they still got the camp. So that was a bit interesting there. There's fight going all over the place. Irel going aggressively into that Malfurion, dropping him really low, but he lives. There's the Cassia fending in, doing a lot of damage. That Moth is living at 20%, 20-30% HP. They're still trying to go for him. There's big damage going on. There's the Light Bomb, but unfortunately, Irel does not have the jump, and the Light Bomb misses. She uses her ult very aggressively, but Zul comes in from the flank, uses those skeletal mages into the backline, doing a lot of damage to Irel. She does not have her ult, and she falls. Cassia trying to go in aggressively, grabbing those kills, but gets mind controlled and killed. The ball launches Junkrat back, but it doesn't actually help. They still lost the team fight there.
I mean, they didn't get punished as hard as they should have. Like, they still got their camp. Yeah. They didn't initially lose any members of their team, but they decided to push their luck. And even though the Soul rotated to do the 5-man, they still didn't respect the numbers and just they were punished for it. We're gonna see a Nazeebo rotation. He's gonna get caught here by the Soul, so he's not really gonna do anything. The Malfurion just capping away.
Zul runs away a little bit as the rest of the red team comes in to help him out. Nazeebo does have Vile Infection completed, so that Zul is taking a ton of damage there from Gary and from all the rest. But in the meantime, blue team just grabbed the objective and shot yet another shots to the core. But Nazeebo actually managed to get mid and somewhere along all those lines. I didn't even notice where did he get it. When did he get it? So Zul has to reclaim that. And Nazeebo is looking now at bot.
Oh, that actually happened while the red team was dying, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, speaking of red team dying, there is the Blessed Shield, the mind control into Nazeebo, and even the Leap of Faith comes a little bit too late. Not enough to save him, so Nazeebo goes down. No more stealing structures from him.
Yeah, we're gonna see a couple of pumpkins here being walked in. See if the red team should be able to hold him off, given that nobody else dies here.
It should be okay. There's 4v4s, and Zul is still top trying to retake that. Oh, there's a big Riptire doing a lot of damage to the front line. There's a Line Bomb, unfortunately misses. Oh, and Irel does go down. She was looking just fine, but then got killed. Another great mind control. Sylvanas onto the Mei. Oh, and she pressed her D narrowly. That was just one or two auto attacks away from death and doing saves her, so she barely lives, but the entire red team is extremely low. And those grenades chasing Cassia, oh, she barely manages to get inside her core, or she would have been dead as well. And well, it's like this might just be the end if the blue team plays well.
Looks like we've had some miscommunication with the members of the red team. We've seen a couple of light bombs get popped on heroes that don't go in, so I'm not sure if they're just not aware of each other's cooldowns, or they're just pushing their buttons without speaking, but just waiting a couple of seconds, getting those engages in would definitely make a difference. We're gonna see the red team here fighting 4v3. The Mei getting a great snowball, unfortunately not long enough to make it to the lines, but just one altar was enough for the win, and Soul kept it.
Yep, they were fighting over the red side's altar, and the Zul actually grabbed their own uncontested, and they won the game since they had enough towers. That was a lot more close game. Actually, when I point out the red team has a lot more. The blue actually no. I was gonna say something, but no. Never mind. I looked wrong. So yeah, it was a lot closer game there from both teams. A lot of aggressive plays by the red team, but blue was still managed to get those kills in the right time and grab those objectives. even with Nazeebo being extremely annoying, getting those towers taken from protectors of Aiur there left and right, having Zul just trying to stay on top of it, reclaiming this. And still, if we look at XP soaked, Zul is so far ahead from Nazeebo.
Wait, is he? Hang on, I haven't looked. Oh yeah, that's quite a big difference. That's 15k almost.
That's still almost 40k XP soaked. That's actually a lot, considering this game wasn't that long.
Nope, it was only 19 minutes.
Yeah, there was a massive amount of XP soaked and massive amounts of siege damage there as well. So, yeah, he really was just slashing them left and right.
Yep, and we're gonna see another victory to Protectors of Aiur. If you haven't checked out the standings, they are #1 at the moment. Then they're just gonna get a move over to the quarter. No, this is the quarter, the semifinals.
Yes, the semifinals, they're advancing. They were looking pretty good, actually, this game, so well-deserved victory. There, the red team tried to do a little comeback in last game, but fell a little bit short.
Yep, the semifinals, I believe, start on November 1st, if I recall correctly. I do want to look and make sure. This is a lot of scrolling. Never mind. I'm going to say they started potentially on the 1st or before. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to end it here. I honestly don't have a lot to discuss. Honestly, if the LTK had won, I did have many questions, but as it stands, I do not. So we're just going to leave it there. I think we still have time for a couple more casts before this, the actual playoffs and start the best of fives, which is starting from semifinals forward. So unfortunately, I can't cast those, but we might get a couple more casts before then.
The chance, a lot of them are claimed, but we'll see. Maybe we will see you all soon.
All right, have a good night, everybody, and GG's to the Protectors.